You know, I really thought that I could get through this without crying, but I guess I haven't really talked about it too much. I haven't filmed in I don't even know how long, and I feel like I barely know what I'm doing. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Autumn and I normally don't make videos like this, and this is probably a terrible first video for you, so I'm gonna apologize right now. I want to talk about where I've been and what's been going on in my life. This year has been really hard. I don't even need to get into the pandemic because that's just a whole little extra sprinkling of flavor on what's been going on in my life the past year. So there's some things that are still really personal that I'm not ready to talk about, and I might not ever be ready to talk about because it's stuff that happened to me and my family, but it's not necessarily my story to share. So there's a lot more to this than what I'm going to be sharing with you today. But what I want to tell you about is just where I've been, what I've been up to, and what's been happening, basically a life update. Let's talk about the first thing, and this does sort of have to do with the pandemic because obviously I've been out of work since all of this happened, and I have no idea when I'm going back to work. Literally zero idea. So it's made me kind of reevaluate a lot of things, like what do I want to be doing? And I've been a stay-at-home mom out of nowhere, and I never expected to be a stay-at-home mom. And I know a lot of people are in the same boat, but the thing that's been really hard for me is finding a work-life balance in being a stay-at-home mom. And now I know that's not the worst thing. And I know that a lot of people that are going through the same exact thing. So I totally have sympathy. It's just kind of blindsiding where I'm used to traveling for work. I'm not home a lot. So the blessing on one hand is I get to stay home with Valor and I get to see him every single day, and that's been amazing. But on the other hand, I've been trying to focus on growing on my social media platforms, which is really not easy, guys. If you have ever tried to grow on social media, you know that it takes a lot more work than it seems. I know that a lot of people think that social media is for fun, which yes, it is. But if you're trying to make it a job, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that nobody sees that you have to do. So that's been a really big struggle, and I feel like I've been able to definitely step it up on my YouTube channel for sure. But on the same hand, I haven't seen as much growth as I would like to. I've seen a little bit, but I definitely was hoping to see more. And it's really hard when you have an almost toddler that's literally on the go every single second and barely naps. If I get a 30-minute nap out of him right now, praise Jesus, we are lucky, because this kid does not nap. So that's just one piece of the puzzle. The second one is not being sure if and when I'm going back to work. I have no idea. Just sitting here patiently waiting, patiently waiting, and that's a whole nother tangent. These two things led up to our house buying being pushed back. So Dan and I moved in with my dad and stepmom back in October when Valor was 1 month old, and we were originally planning on buying a house around the spring. Now, spring has come and gone. It has flown by, and we are, I don't want to say nowhere near buying a house because we definitely are close, but that set us back so far because I had, you know, an allotted money I was planning to save from my job that I now can't count on. And I can't even get into the whole unemployment thing because that's been a whole battle in and of itself. But basically I was making $0 this whole time. And then Dan was working all the time. So I never really had a break. And now our whole house buying plan was kind of pushed back. And if anybody knows me and has watched my channel for a long time, you know that I really like my space. I've been living on my own since I was 18 years old, and same for Dan. And we had a really hard time with living with family. Now here comes the blessing part of that is we got to spend a lot of time with my dad. Without saying exactly what happened because that's his privacy, my dad unexpectedly passed away on July 27th. You know, I really thought that I could get through this without crying, but I guess I haven't really talked about it too much. No, it was not because of the virus. It was other things, but it really blindsided us. We had no idea that this was going to happen. It's just really taken a toll on our family. Without invading his privacy, I'll just say what was said in the obituary so you can get like a small idea without me sharing absolutely everything, because I don't think that's fair for me to go into his personal details. But on, I don't even know what day it was a couple of weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago at this point. I have no idea. Everything is kind of a blur. My dad, I saw him in the morning, it was fine. I left for the day. Dan was with baby, I was out, and Dad texted me a couple hours later and said that he was going into the emergency room because he had a stomach ache and ended up in emergency surgery, and it basically just spiraled out of control, and it was just 2 weeks of my biggest nightmare. My dad was only 54 years old, so this really just hit us hard and was completely out of nowhere. He was totally seemingly fine that day when I saw him last, and that was it. I didn't see him after that. We got to go to the hospital a couple of times to see him and say our goodbyes, but he was in a coma at that point, so he wasn't all there. Anyways, if you've been wondering where I've been, that's what we've been dealing with. It's just been on top of absolutely everything. 2020 being everybody's hardest year. I feel like this has been so much worse, and I know other people have lost their family members or their friends or whoever, and I just had someone that I know who went through a very similar situation where her mom got a diagnosis and passed away within a couple of weeks, and I just feel so heartbroken and incomplete. Just really upset that I got upset with my dad because I was living with him, and it wasn't the fact that I was living with him, it's the fact that I just want my own space. And in reality, like, now I'm so glad that I was able to see him every single day for the past, I don't even know how long it was, 8 months, 9 months. I don't know how much longer on this video I can talk, to be fully honest with you, because I'm just getting way too emotional. I didn't want to come on camera and break down. I just felt like you guys deserved a little bit of an explanation of where I've been. That's it. That's my update. I am hoping to be back to normal, whatever the hell that is at this point. I'm hoping to be back sooner rather than later, but it's been really hard to gather my thoughts and put out any content. It doesn't feel right. My dad used to always give me YouTube advice, and I would always be like, okay, Dad, like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not on the platform. That's the whole entire update. I apologize for anybody that's new that walked in on this video and wasn't expecting to see me bawling my face off. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe because that doesn't feel right either. Although I do appreciate absolutely everyone's support, everyone that has been here this whole time through this journey, who's been reaching out to me. I've had so many people across the world reaching out to me, sending their prayers, their thoughts, and everything like that, and that has meant so much. It really just makes you rethink everything in your whole life when you lose somebody unexpectedly. If there's anything you can take away from this video, just hug your loved ones. Don't get mad at them over silly things. Don't be petty. Just appreciate them and love them, and that's all I have to say.